Jason here, Clear Creek Farm. How are we doing today? Today is day 7, ABGA National. Today we'll be showing buck. We got one showing today. That's all. So as soon as that's done, we're going to be packing it up, heading back to Michigan. I don't know if I'll stick around for the buck drive tonight or not, because we only got one. It should be showing this morning. So come along with us today as we bring you back to the ABGA Nationals final day.
Ladies and gentlemen, now coming in the arena is our first class in the yearling division. Once again, this is class 44. Those ages 12 to 16 months should be 29 in the class.
to judge. When you get to the buck division, numbers are going to be lighter, and then that's fine when you bring this kind of quality. You still got really good ones to sort through, and I think there's really excellent ones out here in our senior champion drive. Just to hit on a couple of points that we had in our discussion, the buck that wins the 2-year-old class is near ideal in his balance, his frame size. He's not way big, he's not way small, he's right there in the middle where you like him. He's got plenty of length of cannon that he's not one of these short, quick ones, and yet he opens up with so much rib and power and mass that it's a really unique kind of a package there. You've got the buck that comes out of the 3-year-old class, and much the same, probably with a little extra elevation, maybe not quite as pulled apart, maybe not quite as sound off of the back end, but for a 3-year-old buck, boy, he moves with a lot of flex and cushion, and so you really appreciate that. You've got that second place buck out of the 2-year-olds that probably moves as free and easy as anything out here in the senior division. Really like his head and his horn. And then as Jason just talked, that other second place 3-year-old buck has some really good pieces. Probably not the total package that the other 3 are, but that's another buck that's held up exceptionally well, and I think represents a lot of good in an older buck. So having said all that, it's no secret where we're going. You build them that unique. The 2-year-old needs to be your senior champion.
Out of Stillwater, Oklahoma. Now Madison Fenton will pull over for our reserve.
When you pull that guy over, you give up a little bit in terms of mass and power. You gain a little bit in terms of flexibility out of his hip and hop. It's not quite enough. We're going to the 3-year-old for reserve senior.
And reserve. We got first place then out of that 36 months. That's Paul Morgan out of Charlestown, Indiana. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead. The judges have asked us to do this just a little bit different, so as we're wrapping up here, we always like to introduce and let you know our judges once again, especially when maybe people at home. First of all, I'd like to introduce one of our judges. He's a graduate of Black Hawk East and Western Illinois University, raises 4 goats with his wife and his kid. This is his 4th national show to be here. Hails from South Bend, Ohio. Please give a big warm J as you thank him to Mr. Phil Myers. Our next judge, teacher of agricultural education in Mineral Wells, Texas, undergraduate from Southwest Texas State, married 4 boys, raised cattle and goats, been superintendent for 3 years here in the past. Please give a big thank you from Weatherford, Texas, Mr. Kurt Henry. And finally, we have our program coordinator at Pine Mountain Settlement School, raises 4 goats and show rabbits, also owns and operates the GoPromoter.com, hails from Hazard, Kentucky. Big thank you to Mr. Jason Boucher. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to, for the very last time here, introduce our exhibitors to you as we get ready to show for our grand champion. Coming out of the junior division, your champion was Noah Teetle out of Stillwater, Oklahoma, and the reserve was Clayton Newman out of Decker, Indiana. In the yearling division, your champion was Piper Fisher out of Homney, Oklahoma, and reserve was Logan Holland out of Creighton, Kentucky. And finally, again here out of our senior division, your champion was Noah Teetle out of Stillwater, Oklahoma, and reserve was Paul Morgan out of Charlestown, Indiana. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the big one. Put your hands together as we name our grand champion. Okay, right before our judges do this, we're going to very quickly, we're going to introduce part of our staff here. Okay, this is Katie Ruth and Elaine Werner. Okay, we're going to let them say about 2 words here. Ladies and gentlemen, our staff, they've come through a lot of hard times. Give them a round of applause. They've done a great job.
Thank you so much, Kendall, and thank you all. It really has been a pleasure this week to help you all get through this show, and we've had a blast meeting you all. And if there's ever anything that any of us can do for any of you, please do not hesitate to reach out. And if there are problems, let me know. I cannot fix the things I do not know about. So thank you again. This is for Kendall. We will miss you desperately, and we appreciate everything that you've done.
All right, I think we need to talk some grand champion bucks.
treatment and let these exhibitors fight the bucks a little bit longer. But wow, thank you. What an honor for a kid from West Texas. I talked about that, you know, to be at this stage and to be here. I just want to first and foremost thank my teammates. It's been a fun week, been educational for me. We've had some laughs. We've had some discussions, and I tell you what, I came out a better person because of these two on my teammates. So I want to thank them. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the office staff behind the scenes. Thankless job. Thankless job. We know there's a bullseye on your back, and you know when something goes wrong, you're the ones that put out the fire. So I thank you. I want to thank the ring steward. Been there. I think I walked more than y'all. Well, Jacob, not more than you, but I know I walked more than these two when I was a ring steward. And that's another thankless job. They're here before everybody else, and they stay way after everybody else to make sure this show runs smoothly. Thank you to the show chairmen that we have. You know, this next individual, he spoiled us. He spoiled us with his professionalism. And so, Mr. Kendall, thank you for an awesome, phenomenal job these past years. Big shoes to fill, and so, man, he's been a lot of fun, and I appreciate the words of encouragement and his entertainment value that he's brought to the show. You know, I see a lot of familiar faces out here, some new faces, and so that energizes me for the breed. I see some old goats that I've seen or known for a long time. You know who I'm talking to down there. Anyway, so, thank you for everybody who allowed us to be in this position and not to draw this out anymore. What an honor, what a blessing, having a blast. So safe travels, and everybody, and I'm going to pass the mic off at this time.
Thank you, Kurt. I'm just going to echo the same sentiments that he already gave to you. The office staff has done a wonderful job. That includes Kendall, the board of directors who maybe weren't in the office but had a big behind-the-scenes hand in it. The ring stewards, the check-in crew, everybody did that. Also want to add into there the exhibitors. Thank you to the exhibitors because it's hot. You've been here all week. Tensions are high. Goats are melting. All these kind of things that you guys fight through. And so I'm very appreciative that so many of you are still here ringside to watch this national champion buck get named. I had the easy job this week. The office staff, these guys, the exhibitors, you guys worked hard. I just came out here and said, I like that goat better than that goat. And that's the easy part of it. And so I'm so appreciative of the exhibitors and the job that you have done making my life easy. These two guys, Jason and I obviously did the Junior Nationals 2 years ago, so I knew that I wanted to work with him again. His excitement really complements the way that I like to work in the ring, and so that was a no-brainer. I asked Jason, I asked a couple other people about this Kurt Henry that I'd never met before, and to a man, every single person said the same thing. Oh, he's a livestock guy. That was it. That's all I needed to hear. Because that's a perfect description. Somebody says that they're a livestock person, I could work with that. We saw them almost exactly the same all week long. There was no big discussions, and that's why we were able to work efficiently. It was great to meet Kurt. It was great to work with Jason once again. Thank you so much. Jason, bring us home and get us a national champion.
All right, Jason.
Guys, it's just an honor to be out here, and you know, my hats are off to everybody that was thanked. Sometimes I ask myself, how did I get so lucky? I get to do lots of amazing things. I get to meet all of you all across this country because of these goats. And I'm just a little hick Kentucky hillbilly from the mountains of southeastern Kentucky. Thank you all for believing in us to allow us to do this. Now, I could go on, and I'll stop before I start to cry. But I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. We get out here to this buck show. Folks, we turned up the heat yesterday with the doe show. We come back to a buck show that's just as hot. Front to back, junior to senior, my oh my, this gives us hope that we're headed in a good direction. For us, this was one hands down, cut and dry, our champion in reserve. We walked to each other, I walked the field. We both said what we were thinking at the same time. Kurt walked up, he said what he was thinking, and it was the exact same thing. Our national champion is one that, he's just big-footed. He's bold. He's got just such a tremendous head. He's got tons and tons of power and meat and muscle and design. Your national champion buck goes to the senior buck in the back.
All right. Stillwater, Oklahoma. Paul Morgan now from Charles County, and we'll pull over for a reserve.
You know, for us, I think there was a buck that matched that pattern. Another buck that was really cool-headed. We talk about breed character. We talk about bottom jaw. We talk about ennoblement. Once you evaluate that, you can see why the animal's that way. They're stout between their eyes. They're stout between their horns. They carry that width and dimension to the ground. We got another ground pounder out here that balances so well. That's so good and correct off his feeding lanes. We just love him. Your reserve champion goes to the yearling buck.
Congratulations. Goes to Piper Pitcher out of Conway, Oklahoma. Congratulations.
ABGA Nationals is a wrap. We didn't do nothing today with our buck. We just did a vanity run. But congratulations to all the winners. We are going to head home. I probably won't record or nothing. It's going to be overnight. So this video might come out first thing tomorrow morning, or it will come out on Sunday. So thank you for coming along. You guys have a great day, and see you on the next video.